What's going on, y'all? For Fave, man. Back again with a video. We're doing a reaction to what some Europe has changed in your mind as an American. Part 1, man. So let's go ahead and hop right into this video. I did do some series like these in the past. So go ahead and check out the playlist, man. Interesting stuff, playlists.
Americans who've been to or traveled to Europe. What's something Europe has changed in your mind that now you can't let go?
Okay, I could do 100 of these, but I'm going to start with politics. See, in America, what we think we have is this: a nice equal system where the extreme left and the extreme right are basically the same distance apart. But in reality, if you're going to be on the extreme right, which you basically have to be if you're going to be in the Republican Party, basically anybody to the left of you looks like a communist by comparison. Now, I would say this is the European model. Now, these people over here, your Trumps, your QAnons, to them, this person who's to the right of even the most staunch anti-government European probably looks like a socialist by comparison. And the problem that brings for somebody who's actually on the left is that there's no way to compromise with somebody who's this far away from you on the spectrum without some of your beliefs or actions falling somewhere in the far right wing. What that means in a practical sense is when these people say it's okay for cops to kill black people in the street, is how we end up with a president whose extreme left view is to shoot them in the leg and not the heart.
Well, I live here, so
That was all over the place, bro.
Having a very solid life plan
Lost.
at the age of 18, you know, kind of staying single until you're in your 30s and not having kids until you're in your 30s, and, you know, not feeling like a functional adult until you're, well, within your mid-30s is okay. It's fine. Also, the medical care here is so cheap and accessible that it allows people like me at 40 to still play American football.
I was living in France for 7 months, so I would say it changed my lifestyle a lot. Firstly, I can't even wear Crocs outside anymore. Or any really like athletic clothing to any place other than the gym. I'm not doing it. I'm also not in a rush to do anything, to go anywhere, to finish my food. I'm not in a rush to do anything. I love eating in now. Like, I don't want to eat in the car. I don't want to eat in a drive-thru. I just want to sit and eat. Lastly, I would say diet and exercise. I find myself parking further away so that I can walk because I watch so much in France. And then I'm also not eating the same things I used to eat because they didn't have Pop-Tarts. They didn't have all this sugar that we eat in the U.S. all over the place. And if they did, it was rated an F. So you don't even want to eat that.
Facts, she ain't lying, man.
I was born and raised in America. I came to the UK when I was 21. I broke my ankle not long after I got here and had a full...
I would say it's like a whole lot more formal. Like, you know, you don't wear gym clothes outside. You be really dressed to impress at all times. They know the essence of sitting down to eat as a family, eating healthier. It's just natural. A whole different ball game.
Full operation, full physiotherapy for months, was looked after by doctors for months. Do you know how much it cost me? Nothing. It cost me nothing. I had my daughter here. I had full prenatal care. I tried to have a home birth, and I had a few teams of midwives and a doctor in attendance at my home.
Oh, dang.
It turned into an emergency. I was taken to hospital and ended up having her in the hospital. And you know how much it cost me? Nothing. Yes, I do pay national insurance, but it's like, I don't know, £10 a month or something. I don't know, maybe it's more. I'm not sure what I pay, but it's not very much. And my healthcare is free.
Hi, I'm an American living in Germany, and my wake-up call was realizing that the fact that I'm mortified of calling 911 in the US is not normal. In the US, you don't call 911 unless it is a near-death experience because that's just expensive. You either take some Advil, chug some water, and sleep it off.
We'll figure it
Or
out.
if that doesn't work, someone can rush you to the urgent care. But we still don't call 911. And that's not normal.
There has to be a deeper reason behind why America and Japan are the only countries in the world that wash their eggs. And if I know anything about how America likes to cut corners, save a dollar at the expense of the people, I don't feel like I will like the answer once I get it.
So I've had the luxury of being in Sweden for about like 4 months now. And the first thing I noticed when I got here was the quality of the food. The quality of the food is so much better than what it is back home in the U.S. Even the fucking McDonald's, like, you can tell the food is real, like it's real chicken, it's real beef, it's real fucking food. And compared to back home, nah. Like, we have a lot more options of like fast food and all that type shit back home, but the quality of the food is just so much better here. It's fresh, it's real. And back home, hell no. Like, I would never eat Burger King back home, but here in Sweden, it just tastes so fucking good for some reason. And also the safeness. Like, I have not felt unsafe not once while I've been here in Gothenburg. So yeah.
This is going to sound strange, but the milk in America really creeps me out. I'm not American, I'm British, but I live in America. And back home, our milk goes off within a few days of opening it. And it stinks, like it's got lumps in it, you can tell that it's off. But the milk in America legit lasts for like weeks. And that really creeps me out. I don't know if I'm going crazy.
How cheap it is to travel. This is applicable for the rest of the world, not just...
Does she have a point? I don't know. It depends on what version you drink. The pasteurizer, 2%, the whole milk, whatever, bro. I think it depends on what kind of milk you're getting too. But back to the point the dude was talking about the freshness of food. You know what era I wish I lived in? The 50s and the 60s. I heard in the 60s, food tastes phenomenal because everything was so, I don't know, just fresh, organic, not processed. But folks always talk about in like the 60s, the food had actually like was really authentic. Yeah.
Just Europe, but accommodations and public transportation is so cheap in Europe. And traveling is a lifestyle. It's so different in the United States. Like, if you want to travel cheap in the US, you got to hitchhike, got to be a dirty kid, you got to train hop. People still do that in Europe, but you don't have to. You can stay at hostels for $10 a night. You can get a train ticket to a different country for $20. You can ride the subway across the city for $1. And it'll take 15 minutes. Now, of course, this depends on what city you are in Europe, but you're also encouraged to travel there. Unlike the United States where everything revolves around working.
Very simple. Public transport. You can't tell me in the majority of U.S. cities that people openly take public transport and are confident, feel safe, feel like it can get them anywhere. Public transport, 100%. Like, I don't know what I would do without public transport in the UK. Even if I got a car, the idea that you can jump on a train to get from one side to the next side of the city, the idea that even from a standpoint of like trains and transportation in general is just much better in European countries. Like, if you disagree, whip it.
We get it.
That they overfeed us and our portion control is outrageous, and the food quality that we have in America, it's trash.
Would you also accept the submission of the culture shock a European gets when we come to the States? Mind you, when they told me that we were gonna go live in the States, I was stoked. Because for me, the US was Six Flags, Universal Studios, Disneyland, In-N-Out Burger. But over time, I started falling in a sort of uncanny valley. There was the food. Cheese was just a block of plastic. Have you ever seen what mozzarella is supposed to look like? And I slowly started realizing that everything tasted chemically. So you have ginormous vegetables, but they taste like nothing. I realized that the difference in volume is just made up of water. Now I realize why so many of you, in order to spice your food, you have to put powdered garlic and powdered onion. Instead of the real thing, it's because it's dehydrated. You need less volume to get the same punch. But go get thee some garlic in the Mediterranean. It will knock you off your feet. It is pungent. You just use the fresh thing. You don't need the powdered version. And I know what I'm on about because I have been to Gilroy, your capital of garlic. Honestly, meh. Sorry, but yeah. Then there's sugar everywhere, even in the bread. And for a nation that is so obsessed with sugar, how do you consistently get your candy so wrong? I'm sorry, but I'm not letting you off the hook until we talk about corn candy. What the fuck is that? Does anyone actually eat that? Why is it so popular? Have you ever...
Bruh, America is the land of experimenting. Like, all the candy and stuff is just over, you know, like Nerds Rope. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Sour Patch Kids, those are good. But you know what I'm saying? Just like the most random, sweetest things of all time. The Big Cat. You know what I'm saying? America's about doing things that don't make sense just because people like things in excess. It's not about making the best, like the most solid candy. You know, and I'm sure she somewhere in, I don't know, she's probably from like Switzerland or something. You know, they specialize in chocolate over there. We're not really a place that specializes in chocolate. We specialize in like all the tangy, like sweet, chewy kind of candies. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where they go above and beyond. Like the Skittles taste the rainbow 1,000 times. You know what I mean? Or all the different Starbursts they got. It's a lot of different variety. So we're the land of just make something super sweet and super large. Send you to early grave. You know what I mean? It's just like excess. It's like the fascination with doing things in the most unorthodox ways.
Ever had a nice like French gelée?
Bro, come on. They gonna make that over here.
Candied violet petals. I'm salivating already. Already covered how weird your chocolate tastes. Everything was just consistently in this kind of uncanny valley. Like, the house is made of drywall. Where's the stone? Where's the cement? Where's the brick? I mean, I was a kid, but after a while, my mother asked me, how are you liking living in the States? And apparently I said, it's creepy because it's like Disneyland, but without the fun. And everything looks like the thing, but isn't the thing. I mean, I could go
Bro,
on,
she's had
but,
enough
you brought food
airtime.
as an
Come on,
example,
bro.
And I just thought I'd respond in kind. You know, I know it's difficult to leave the States, but if you get a chance, come back. Welcome you with open arms. But I'm gonna leave on a positive note for you. There are a few things that nobody can do like the US. These are not gonna be like gotchas. Number one, peanut butter, amazing, and it's a you thing. Number two, but this is my main thing, New York cheesecake. Nobody in Europe does it like you. They do this weird no-bake cheesecake. Not the same thing. Cherry pie. Anything Cajun spiced, all amazing. Your Napa Valley white wines are okay also. Not amazing, but okay. Red velvet cake, insanely good. Pancakes and French toast. Your breakfast laps, but I could only eat it if I was really hungover. Do you want more culture shock examples?
No!
Let me know.
I went to Europe in
Damn.
I graduated college and I went by myself on a like tour group.
She went off, bro. She hit the high score. Oh, damn.
There for about a month, but because I
Golly.
knew I was going to be traveling so much, I had only packed a carry-on. And I was so excited. By the time I got to Europe, I realized I didn't pack my hairbrush. And at the time, my hair was much longer and I was wearing a wash and go for this trip. So anyway, while I was traveling, I met friends and I told them like, hey, I need to find like a hairbrush. They were like, oh, we'll just go to the supermarket. And I was like, no, like I need a different brush. It's not the same. I know it when I find it. When I tell you I spent the entire month searching for a hairbrush for black hair, my hair looked crazy. Nobody knew because it was. And it made me realize that even though I complain about America all the time, I still have access to hair products that are made for me. Or braids next time.
Dang. Some folks wouldn't be able to relate to that one. You know what I mean? But hey, she got a point. I mean, in America, some things are just like naturally accessible, man. Like a variety of different things, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, it may not even apply to them, but I think they understand it in some shape or form, fashion, you know what I'm saying? But comment down below, man. Let me know y'all's thoughts on that. This is part one. What's something Europe has changed in your mind as an American? I could go, the list could go on. A lot of different things they've said, public transportation. Be dope if everybody could just, no matter if you're in a big city or not, just have this railway system. Like riding the London Underground is it's a really cool experience. Like it's a real dope experience, man. Like you said, you can make it one side of the city to the other side and different connection points, different get off stops. Like you just got to figure out how to run. I don't know, you get familiar with it over time, but comment down below. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this one, man. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless. See y'all on the next one, man. We out.